Hey everyone, so it's World IBD Day today, and I know I hammered everybody with posts, pictures, randomness on Facebook, because that's kind of what I do every year. I've probably done it more in the past, but this year I don't know. I feel like most people kind of get it by now. But one thing I did do was bring up my YouTube page that I decided to start because I've abandoned the blogging. I don't really know why. I guess it's just taking the time to sit down and type it out and make sure it's edited right and it's, it flows. I always just reread everything I write and then adding pictures, and it just tends to be more time consuming than me hitting record and babbling on for 12 minutes or whatever. So for the most part, my day was okay. My kid's a little crazy, but that's to be expected. And I wasn't feeling the hottest. The sleep wasn't so great, but I had a little bit of time by the pool, so I didn't let it get me today. It took me out a few times this week, including yesterday as we talked. I don't know if you saw my video about missing the movie and whatever. So today, even though I was like dragging tired and had to do some things on a day where it isn't my responsibility, still managed to like get a little sun. I mean, look at all this. I'm just glowing and tropical. And lay by the pool a little bit, had a little cocktail, and yeah, it was okay. So, and I got to read all the fun posts from other IBDers around the world, including many women that I have become very close with over the internet over years. You'd be surprised how close you can become with someone when you have something to bond over like that. People who are around you every day that don't get it, that you're closer with somebody that you've never met. So I always say like, oh, you're like the best person I've never met or whatever. So I've been lucky enough to meet a handful of them, and hopefully going forward I will get to meet more of my gutsy girls. So that would be really great. I'd just absolutely love it. So anyway, to all of my IBDers out there, have a great day, and we'll keep fighting and trying to keep raising money and raising awareness and making people understand that it's invisible, but we're not, and we have a lot to say. And I think the more we talk about it, the easier it gets, the less the stigma is, the less we are kind of pigeonholed into this whole like all we do is go to the bathroom thing, because we all know that some days that's the least of our problems. Like today it's pain for me. So keep talking, talk to one person, start with one person, start with, like I said, for me, my blog, it was a lot easier for me to type it and send it into the world at first than to actually have the conversation. And then once I was really raw with it, it was so much easier just to say it, because what do I have to hide? Do I have any shame anymore? I mean, really, I've been like gutted open and my guts on tables, and I have like no modesty left, I'm sure, after many surgeries and procedures with a colorectal surgeon. So I hope everyone had a good weekend, and I hope everyone is as pain-free and symptom-free as possible, and that if you watch the Preakness, everyone was really excited. So I don't know, chances of that triple crown 2 years in a row for him is a little rough, but it's still pretty cool going into it to see what happens. But anyway, thanks for coming and stopping by if you watched, or if you went back to my blog and started from the beginning or picked up where I've left off a very long time ago. I know every now and then I need to just pop on there and write some stuff up. But if you don't know about what I've gone through, or maybe you're newly diagnosed, or I've just met you and I kind of don't really get into the whole story, the blogs are very graphic. unfiltered way to figure out what I've gone through since, I don't know, I think maybe like a week before my colectomy. I regret, and I've said this many times, I regret not starting that blog like upon diagnosis or upon like when I really got sick. Because honestly, my flares and my hospitalizations for my flares were almost worse than my surgeries and worse than my colectomy. I wish I had more pictures showing just, it's just horrible. Like I was looking through old pictures last night and I was just like, you know, I wanted to cry. So just to everyone, thanks a lot. Happy Saturday. Enjoy the last day of the weekend. And thanks for checking out my page and or my blog. And I guess you won't really hear a whole lot from me possibly until the next time there's an IBD event that I need to blast everybody with awareness about. But yes, I don't usually ask people for money. So when I post a link for to donate, it's pretty rare. It's usually for pit bulls or rescues or research for IBD. Just because it, you know, clearly like it's very important to me and it's just impacted me and so many people that I know. And like the more I talk about it, the more people I find out that have it. Like people I knew for years and years that had Crohn's that I had no idea because they were too embarrassed to talk about it. And then I brought it up because I don't care anymore about being embarrassed. And suddenly they're like, oh yeah, I was diagnosed, you know, whatever, when I was 20. And it's just a very interesting way to create a community and a support system. And we can't be quiet and we can't be embarrassed and we can't hide. I think the more we talk and the more we say it, no one has to explain cancer and the struggles that people go through with cancer because it's been so explained and shown and documented, and it's just accepted now. Like, oh my gosh, you're diagnosed with cancer, and suddenly there's just that complete understanding as much as you possibly can. If I say IBD, there are people who say I have no idea what you're talking about. If I say autoimmune, people will be like, oh, like AIDS. If I say UC or ulcerative colitis, I mean, they're just chronic pain, chronic illness. There are so many people where they just glaze over and have no idea what I'm talking about still, which is crazy because there are so many millions of people that have it. Babies are born with it. Babies have ostomies and they're in the hospital. They haven't gone home yet. And those, of course, always make me cry because I feel like I've had it pretty good that, you know, this like newborn in a diaper has an ostomy. So those are things you don't really think about, but it happens. So, okay, I'm going to really sign off this time. So everyone have a great night. Have a good Sunday, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.